this is my first time speaking into a microphone and speaking directly into it. So the first time that I was involved or exposed to the criminal justice system, I was 9 years old. I was the only American English speaking person in my family. I was taken to the precinct to figure out why my uncle was arrested. My very much Colombian mother, that means little person, high heels, very exotic, was taking me right in front of her to speak to these police officers. And I was in shock. I barely spoke English or Spanish. So the first thing was the police officer looking at me, looking at my mom, looking at me, looking at my mom, in shock, like, who's gonna speak here? And I'm like, hello, over here. It was so nerve wracking as I am now. And the police officer, after a while, was, I don't know why, asked about our status. And I'm like, what? The first thing I knew within my family was never to talk about our status. Immigrant family, crossed the border from Mexico, living here. Only me was a little proper girl looking American, so I can speak on behalf of the whole family. And the officer asked me, what's your status? And I'm like, ma, él quiere saber nuestro estatus. Ay, Katy, usted sabe ya qué decir. I know what to say. I'm 9 years old. Officer, we're New Yorkers. We're New Yorkers. We're good. And we're good. That's it. That's all. That moment, I became the spokesperson, the lawyer, the legal representative of every kind for my family since then to today. And I was only 9 years old. This is falling. Okay. So, that was the day that I was introduced to the, criminal justice system, and ever since then, I figured out how to answer a question without answering it, or finding out the legal way to say something illegal or do something illegal. But so we're at the precinct, and we're trying to figure out if my uncle is arrested for like fighting in the street, or really the 17.7921 ounces of cocaine in my school shoes at home. So like, why are we really here, right? So that was always the reason. Like, is he really here for something? What we know, or is he, just fighting in the street? So that was always my duty, to figure out what we were really doing here and why, and how can we get out. So it was nerve-wracking, but it gave me that confidence to kind of defend my family. I was the only one able to speak for them, and that took me from a precinct to eventually my uncle getting caught, to a jail, to immigration, to prison, and even in prison or jail visiting, I was always the one speaking. And the more I became confident in speaking for my family, the more I became confident speaking to authority, and or not knowing the law, but knowing our rights, I guess, or what not to say and what to say. It was very emotional at every time, because my family put this pressure on me to make sure I didn't get anyone else in trouble either. And that was really hard, because I don't know, it was just really hard. but but then I just gathered this leadership, and so I went to John Jay, and I wanted to be a police officer for all the right reasons, and to fight for all the right reasons, to be the good guy. And but then my professors saw better in me, and then I ended up doing research in jail, and then doing research here, and I was always jail based, because I found myself being very comfortable in jail. I found myself being really comfortable in the prison, and speaking about it, and it was where it took me today. And so I'm very happy with that piece. And I guess John saw the same thing in me. And thank you, Corey. So yeah, the end.